introduce EdgeSwap. Okay, it's an innovative layer 2 trading market. Okay, first I'm going to give you a brief review of the background. And as you can see that in the last few years, blockchain dApps such as DeFi application and NFT and GameFi and DAO are getting more and more popular. And Ethereum as the first generic layer 1 platform, it's still the most popular one and the most secure one by far. And for security concerns, it has a limited block size smaller than 2 megabytes, and it has a confirmation time of about 12 to 14 seconds. So this limits its process ability to 12 to 15 transactions per second. So it's by far very below the whole world's demand. So people have to compete with each other to pay higher gas price, and so the gas price is minus computation time, as you know, and it's very limited process time in one block. So people have to compete with each other for their transactions. And as you can see from the left picture, that the gas price is rising very high, and it can be about 10 times when it's reaching its peak at about August 30 or sometime in September. So it was very competitive in the last summer. And what makes it even worse is that the Ethereum price has increased significantly in the last few years, which makes people pay even higher in terms of US dollars. So how can we solve this problem? The layer 2 provides one solution. And as you can see from the right picture, that the total volume locked in layer 2 is is getting higher and higher. And it means that the tools in layer 2 are getting more convenient. And the second, that people feel secure to moving from layer 1 in Ethereum to layer 2. And third, everyone wants to grasp the opportunity to, in the very early age, such as you can also have mining in layer 2. Okay, so right now we have two kinds of layer 2 solutions. One is optimistic-based, so such as optimism and arbitrum. And it's very easy to migrate from the layer 1 to layer 2 for current existing applications. And it requires the least change to wallets, to oracles, and to dApps. And also, users do not need to change their habits when using such a layer 2 dApps. But it has some problems, such as you have to keep monitoring your asset to avoid people that are operating this layer 2 stealing your funds. Because when using optimism, when people find some bad behaviors, they need to submit the fraud proof to layer 1, so that the layer 1 can get back to just steal the funds. But for zero knowledge proof layer 2 solutions, there is no such problem, because you have your own private keys, and all the layer 2 public keys and address are derived from your private key on layer 1. So you don't have to worry about the theft of funds. And also because they use the state-of-art zero-knowledge proof technology, you don't have to wait about 7 days to get your money from layer 2 to layer 1. The withdrawal can be done in about 10 to 20 minutes. It's very fast. And thirdly, because layer 1, but most of the time you don't have to wait for layer 1 to confirm. You just need to wait for layer 2 to confirm. And thirdly and fourthly, the total volume of in layer 2 can be huge because of the most advanced technology in zero-knowledge proof, such as the recursion and the aggregation method. And in the end, people don't have to worry about the privacy because they can keep their data option, and they don't have to submit all their data to layer 1 as optimistic rollup. So right now, as you can see from the ecosystem, that we have a very bright future for zero-knowledge proof rollup. And there are a lot of rollups building right now. And the first is standard from Stackware, and it's based on technology without trusted setup. And it's supporting the Carol language, which is Turing complete. And for ZK, they are building a Solidity compatible zero-knowledge proof solution, which they already released some testnet, and they are going to release the mainnet maybe in this year. And they have Polygon Zero and Polygon Maiden, and also Polygon Hermes. That's also building some amazing technology in zero-knowledge proof and the Zk Rollup. And most importantly, maybe you have heard of Zk EVM, which is super important in this year or next year, which with Zk EVM, you can have Solidity supported, and you can have dApps that only with minor changes that can be moved from layer 1 to layer 2. And on the bottom left, that you have Validium model, that you don't have to submit your data to layer 1, so that you not only can you save some gas price, and you can have your privacy. So with this, you have Stagger exchange, and you also have Zk port. And for the IDX, you don't have to have all your transactions data on chain, so that you can keep it private. And that's why you can see from the top right that dApps such as Curve and Maker and Paraswap, they're moving from layer 1 to layer 2. Because right now, using layer 1 is too expensive. You may have to pay about $4 to $10 to just swap USDT to USDC. And also it's expensive to mint one NFT and exchange it. So more and more dApps are moving from layer 1 to layer 2. But it's also important to have the wallets and infrastructure ready. Right now, you have a whole wallets that are integrating zero-knowledge Rollup, such as M token and the Ledger and the MetaMask, and also Wallet Connect. And you can also use Argent to connect your wallet with Starknet. For infrastructure, you have the Nethermind web, which can compile Solidity to such as Carol language that make the layer 1 dApps easier to be migrated to layer 2. And with all these tools and infrastructures and state-of-art ZK-Rollups, we see a very bright future, and we see that people and companies are going to move from layer 1 to layer 2 in the next few years. And the volume in layer 2 will grow significantly, and which will also make more users getting to use blockchain. And here, maybe you can give a very straight view of why people are adopting layer 2 dApps, because the price is so low that you don't need to consider that whether you need to or when you need to swap tokens. So as you can see that ZK has a very low price in sending Ethereum on layer 2. It's about 12 cents. And for swapping token, it's about 29 cents. And also you have Aztec network, which guarantees your privacy. These are all very low compared with Ethereum's layer 1 function. And it's about 10% of the 10% of the gas cost compared with the layer 1. And also, it's also very cheap compared with optimistic based rollup, such as Arbitrum. The reason that Arbitrum had to publish a lot of data on chain to allow people to submit a fraud proof. But for zero knowledge proof, they don't have to publish so much data. And with the Validium model, it's even cheaper. So on the right, you can see that the trading volume is huge, even right now. So you have DivideX, which has a trading volume about 8 billion, and you have Immutable X, which is an NFT. You have Mint and exchange NFTs. It has a volume of about 5 billion. And for very early, the Loopring, it's diminution, and it's about 1.8 billion. So the total volume is about 15 billion US dollars right now. But there are some still existing problems that, such as the efficiency in adoption. That still we don't have very robust Solidity compilers. So people have to write using Carol language or Zk language to make their, or even circuits to make their dApps usable on layer 2. That's formidable for some dApp developers. So the solution is that people the ZK Rollups are building ZK VM, and they are also building Solidity compilers. Because with Solidity compilers, the current apps developed with Solidity can be directly compiled into Layer2 dApps that are running on ZK VM. Secondly, the zero-knowledge proof requires great complexity improving, which can take minutes, but with hardware acceleration such as GPU and FPGA or ASIC in the future, you can have better proving time. And also, you can have less operating cost for ZK Rollups. And thirdly, the proofing system is still developing. So the most promising technology is recursion. So you can have layer 3 or layer 2 or layer 1 in the future. So that recursion so the very basic transaction only happens on layer 3. And by continuous recursion, it finally reaches layer 1. And all the batch transactions are aggregated into only one root on layer 1. And this average transaction very cheap. And thirdly and fourthly, the trustless system, because current zero-knowledge proof either requires universal setup or trusted setup. So in the future, they are going to move from trusted setup, universal setup to no setup, such as Zk or Redshift. And then you have the privacy that people don't want to publish all their data on chain. So in the future, you may have some transaction with data held by their users and totally private. And then, in the end, the decentralization, we need more open source compilers and open source provers so that people can easily deploy them and have their own node in the future, rather than the current situation that they are all run by the large companies such as Stackware or MetaLabs. Okay, so right now I'm going to give you some introduction about the Edge network. And Edge network solves some problems in the last slide. First, it improves the proving with GPU hardware acceleration, so that we accelerated the primitive such as FFT and multiscalar exponentiation, and improve the performance by 40%. And we use the open source library BMCE, and we optimized with GPU. So right now you have the proving time that for 67 milligates, originally the proving time is about 12 minutes. Right now you have only about 3.5 minutes. This is a big improvement. and you have lower latency and better cost savings. And besides, we use aggregation technology to reduce the cost. On the right, you can see that with the aggregation and recursion, we can successfully reduce the gas cost for every transaction. And in the last slide, the next slide, I'm going to give you more information. So here, as you can see that without aggregation, every transaction needs about 0.59 million gas to get it verified on chain. So to verify 18 blocks, you need to cost a lot if you do them separately. But if you can aggregate all of them into only one block, you have the total verification cost about 0.72 million gas, which is about 15 times lower than the original. So it's a big improvement. You can see that for every swap, you have a gas consumption about 2,230, which is very low compared with layer 1. It's about, you can save about 98% compared with layer 1. And in the future, we are going to aggregate more, and we are going to have more recursion layers so that people using EdgeSwap can save more, even more. We also care a lot about security. So normally, people store all their accounts and assets offshore, and all these are stored in several Merkle trees, and their roots are stored on-chain on Ethereum. Every time you need to update the Merkle root, the operator needed to submit a proof to prove that the update is valid. But in the worst case, once nobody is operating the nodes, the asset will be stuck on layer 2. But don't worry, nobody can steal your fund. If you have your private key, you can use our tools to directly communicate with the smart contract on layer 1 so that you can get your money back from layer 1. So now we have a comparison between the current popular rollups such as Rollup and also Uniswap on Arbitrum. You can see that for user, every transaction right now, you don't need to pay anything for proving for the layer 1 verification, but you have to pay $4 if you use Uniswap on layer 1. And also for withdrawal time, right now, if you want to withdraw from layer 2 to layer 1, it takes about 15 minutes to 25 minutes. But in Rollup, it costs about 51 minutes because they use a different proof system, and that's very old. And for Uniswap, it takes days because they use optimistic rollup, which you need to wait for fraud proof. And then you have the network cost, which also EdgeSwap is very competitive. And then you have the network cost. That's for about 10,000 transactions. The network cost is about 12,000. So in summary, we think that EdgeSwap provides the same functionality with Uniswap, but it's based on zero-knowledge proof. So it has less user cost and better user experience. So you can try it and see whether it's good. And also we have the layer 2 mining, so that if you put your asset into the liquidity pool, you can earn the swap fees. So we think that the market value for EdgeSwap will be promising. So in summary, we have a very good opportunity right now because the Zk Rollup is become popular, and the trading is also a necessary for functionality in the future. And also we have a team with solid engineering background, such as zero-knowledge proof and Web3, and also we have financial experts. And we will keep doing more research and improving our technology and give you better experience. And the future market will grow much more, and together we can witness it. So this is our website and also our teacher and also our Telegram. So if you have any question, you can ask them on Telegram or Discord. And here I'm going to give you some demonstration. Okay, here I'm going to demonstrate the main functionality in EdgeSwap. So this is the interface, and right now we have it deployed on testnet, and you can connect it with the MetaMask. And here I have connected with the Rollup network, and see I have several ETH tokens that I got from the Rollup network. And if I want to deposit some money from layer 1 to layer 2, I can select, say I want to deposit 0.1 from layer 2 to layer 1. So you see that it requires my signature. And then you can see that the transaction has been submitted to the off-chain network, and then it's included in the batch and submitted to layer 1. So here you can see that it's confirming. And once it's confirmed, it means that it has been submitted to layer 1. And the estimated arrival time is about 5 to 10 minutes. And here, as you can see, that I already have some money deposited from layer 1. So if I want to add some liquidity, I can add from here. So here, as you can see, that I can add some just to demo. I can add a pair of Ethereum and USDT to the pool. Then I confirm. By adding these to the liquidity pool, I can earn some fees. And then I can swap some token from Ethereum to USDT. So as you can see, I can swap a small amount of Ethereum to USDT. It's very easy, and it's very user-friendly. And if I want to transfer some money to another address, such as my other account, yeah, maybe I need to refresh the Explorer. So if I want to swap, or if I want to transfer from one address on layer 2 to another address on layer 2, it's also very easy. Oh, here, as you can see, that's I've deposited from layer 1 to layer 2 is successful. Here, you can do the transfer from one address to another. See. So also you can, if you want to know more about the transaction, such as how much is the cost, you can view it from here. So the fee is now 0. And if you can also see more in the Explorer. Yeah, so here is the layer 2 address to another layer 2 address, and the total volume of Ethereum transferred. So if you want to withdraw from layer 2 to layer 1, you can also do it from right here. So you can withdraw like this. And the withdrawal will take about 10 to 20 minutes. So that's all for the demonstration. And if you have a question, you can also read the document and see that how the technology is, what the technology is here, such as a Planck proof system and also our acceleration method, and also how we do our security and how our system scales. Okay, that's all for the demonstration. Okay, so if you have some question, you can ask me right now. And besides, if you want to trade, you can see all the supported tokens such as Ethereum and USDT and Compound, and DAI, and all of them are listed here. Okay, that's the end of this demonstration. And so if you have more questions, you can ask me right here. And also you can ask the team on Discord, and we will give you the answer.